I mean, we see some crazy stuff in scripture that happened today that was happening back then. For example, in 1 Corinthians 5:5-6, we see that there was a dude in the church who was having sex with his stepmother. Now, be honest, I mean, how many times we seen that on the nasty websites of that being a fantasy, all right? I wasn't always saved, so those who know. But the solution to things like this that help everybody is taught in this passage, in these two verses. All right, so Paul says, sin's like a little yeast and it affects the whole bread. And I get why he say this, because I literally been under pastors that would be like, oh, well, I'm not going to sit so-and-so down because they did this, because I see Creflo Dollar or TD Jakes and they do this and they still got 100 million members and etc. So people will see other people do evil and think that they could cut corners as well. So that's why you want to deal with things when they need to be dealt with. And you see this even in the worldly, standard. For example, in the movies, you ever see like the drug dealer and a guy with like disrespect, and they got to like deal with them harshly, and they be like, well, if I don't deal with disrespect, everybody's going to feel like they can disrespect me. This is the concept that's being spoken right here. So the second concept we're looking at, they say, throw this dude out. All right. So typically how it's supposed to go when somebody's like really sinning in the church context or in the Christian community, you're supposed to go to them, let them know your offense. If they don't listen, you take it up with leaders. You run through the whole process, of course. And then if they still don't stop, you throw them out. But you thinking in your mind, like, what's the consequence for getting freaky with the stepmom? She ain't with Pops no more. Well, the consequences is, even you see that today, freaky people, is first off, if you're in love, heartbreak, you have kids with this person, you don't know if it's yours because that person probably is going to cheat on you. And it goes down the whole rabbit hole of like two lustful people being together, and they stay lustful because lustful people, they get bored of each other, then they kind of go to the next thing. So this is not a love story thing that's just going to last long. That's why Paul says, let Satan deal with them, because if they feel like that's right, they feel like that's the way, you might as well should let them go, because it's going to help them come back, because everybody has to learn why not to do things. So that's why it's a form of grace, judging people within a community, because you want them to get it right and you want them to come back. It says that if you hand them over to Satan, this dude could be saved on the day of the Lord returns. So it's the way of showing grace when you judge within a community so people can get right.